So the book that I read is If I Stay by Gail Forman. So the book is basically about the 17-year-old girl named Mia Hall and how her life changes when her and her family get into a fatal car accident. When she wakes up, she realizes that she's actually in a coma, and she's forced to make the hardest decision of her life, and that's whether to stay alive or not to. And throughout the book, she shares her past experiences with us, and she contemplates whether or not she wants to wake up. The most interesting part of the story, and the part that I really enjoyed the most, was whenever she talked about playing her cello. The way that Mia described it made it seem like I was actually sitting there listening to it. And I think that's really hard to do through words, but the way that she was so passionate about her music was really inspiring and admirable. The most important characters in the story, I think, were Mia, her mom and dad, her boyfriend Adam, and her best friend Kim. Throughout the book, her parents really influence her and affect her, and she's always talking about how she's not like her family and how her parents are into rock and roll and her brother's into rock and roll, and she's into like classical music, so she's just kind of the odd one out. But even though she's so different from her family, she still loves them unconditionally, and that's one of the big reasons why she doesn't want to wake up, is because she doesn't want to see a life or a world without them. My favorite character in the story was actually not one of the main characters. It was her grandpa, and I really liked her grandpa because he was so cute and so nice. And the main reason why I really liked him is because he reminded me of my grandpa, and I don't know, that relation just made me like him even more. The theme of the book, I think, was love, and that true love will last through anything, no matter what the circumstances are. And in the book, Mia and Adam's relationship is in jeopardy because Mia wants to go to Juilliard, and Juilliard's actually all the way across the country from where they are, and Adam wants her to stay with him, and she wants to go, so she doesn't think that their relationship will last through long distance. But ultimately, he stays beside her whenever he realizes that she's in a coma, and in the end, that's what makes her want to wake up the most, and that was her love for Adam. My overall opinion of the book, I thought it was a good book. It was okay. I didn't really like the ending, and I thought that a lot of the book was really predictable. This will probably be the only time I'll read it. I thought that the movie was actually better than the book, and that's really surprising to me, because usually when I read books and I watch the movie, I like the book way better because there's just so much more detail. But in this case, I thought that they could have left out a lot more detail and that it wasn't important, like it wasn't necessary. I recommend this book to probably high school, teenage girls, because they probably like the romance book, and probably older girls because there's some bad language in it. It's not that bad, but nothing that little kids should read. And I think that musicians should also read the book because they'd probably be able to relate to Mia and her boyfriend and her family, because they all are musicians, and this book is really musical oriented. So I think they should read it. That's my